After an investigation by the WBZ news team, they found out that in Massachusetts, the police instructors, the people teaching police practices and stuff to the police, have their own criminal record of various crimes. Uh, this shows how deep the bad apples actually are. It's not just, you know, an incident here or there of a bad cop. It is police chiefs being bad. It's police instructors being bad. The police instructors who have a criminal history are teaching other cops how to police. That is truly insane. If these people weren't cops, all these people would be in jail for a good while for their crimes. But because they're cops, they've been able to get out of a lot of, legal issues and be able to evade justice.
Now at 5:30, questions about who's training new police officers in Massachusetts. A months-long WBZ investigation has uncovered some pretty serious complaints against dozens of instructors at the state's police academies. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Courtney Cole.
And I'm Lisa Hughes. WBZ's Louisa Moeller shows us how the state committee in charge has changed its code of conduct since she started asking questions.
There is no such thing as a routine traffic stop.
This is a video shown to police officers in training this year by the Municipal Police Training Committee, or MPTC.
For passenger side approach, the advantages include element of surprise.
And the officer doing the demo, he's not legally allowed to be a police officer in Massachusetts. That's former Hudson police officer Kevin Johnson. This video taken of him before his certification to be an officer was suspended by the state last year. MPTC still showing it to police recruits even after he was convicted of a misdemeanor crime. Court documents.
You would think the people teaching, police law or laws to police practices and stuff like that would want a video of a person that isn't a cop that was convicted of a crime. Like, why do they still support this kind of behavior? That is truly wild. It just shows how corrupt police actually are, and they're taught, a lot of them, if they aren't already like a psychopath, taught to, abuse people, break the law, abuse their power and stuff like that.
State Johnson was arrested for assaulting and kicking a man in the head and pushing his girlfriend. MPTC and its instructors are in charge of training every new police officer at academies like this one across the state, with training for current officers online. So we wanted to know, who else is teaching the police officers of tomorrow? WBZ obtained a list of MPTC's roughly 2,500 instructors. Salem State University interim captain Stephen Turcott is on there. Turcott was the subject of a 2012 WBZ I-Team investigation. Salem State settled a lawsuit against him, accusing him of sexual harassment and gender discrimination. In total, WBZ found 46 MPTC instructors with serious sustained complaints against them. 3 who had their MPTC instructor certifications suspended since we started investigating. 1 had their instructor certification reinstated after an appeal. Among them,
46 instructors with serious complaints is, that is too many. You shouldn't have any instructors with complaints against them. How can these people be cops and be the ones to enforce the law when they're breaking the law?
1 had their instructor certification reinstated after an appeal. Among them, we found officers accused of falsifying timesheets, others involved in alleged domestic violence. Was arrested, then arrested again for violating a restraining order against the same victim, off-duty assault and battery, another accused of illegal drug use, an officer accused of consuming alcohol before their shift, yet another allegedly used a police information system to conduct searches on 7 people unrelated to his police work.
Wow, that is truly insane. Let's go back a bit. Falsifying time sheet. He was falsifying timesheets, which means he's stealing money from the taxpayers. Theft, lying, falsifying records. That's a lot of crimes right there. Next, dude.
Then arrested again, others involved in alleged domestic
violence. Come on, let's get better. What? Domestic violence. Yeah, a lot of cops are, spousal abusers. What, like 40% or more of them are known to beat their spouses. Those types of people definitely shouldn't be cops, because if they're going to beat their spouse, they're definitely going to beat civilians. This dude arrested for stalking and violating a restraining order? Like, why was he not put in jail for doing that? That's insane.
Was arrested, then arrested again for violating a restraining order against the same victim, off-duty assault and battery, another.
And then off-duty assault and battery. Like, that would put any person in jail for violating a restraining order and assaulting and battering a person of that restraining order. But somehow he's an instructor.
Accused of illegal drug use, an officer accused of consuming alcohol before their shift, yet another allegedly used a police information system to conduct searches on 7 people unrelated to his police work.
Yeah, conducting searches on people unrelated to the police work and using informants to do that. That's extreme violations of people's constitutional rights, and he should be in prison for that. I mean, imagine if some random person, imagine if a person got, 7 of their friends to spy on you and stuff. That would put you and those people in jail for a while.
Information system to conduct searches on 7 people unrelated to his police work. All 46 in violation of the MPTC's Code of Conduct.
It starts with a small transgression, and that becomes something that's accepted. Then it leads to another one, and that becomes accepted.
Larry Smith is a former Massachusetts State Police Sergeant.
Yeah, and he's right about that. When police start accepting like small violations of the law, that's when it starts snowballing into you having the goon squad, where they go around torturing black people, or you have the cop gangs like they do in California, or you have cops murdering, beating, abusing, violating people's civil rights all over the place, and it becomes accepted. And this is why we need police reforms to stop these kind of people from becoming cops, and to change the way policing happens, so that people can't become cops and get away with, committing crimes 24/7.
Who runs a firm that investigates law enforcement. He argues MPTC's issues stem from its leadership, under the helm of Executive Director Robert Ferrulo, who retired this week. In April, WBZ revealed a Stoneham police officer who resigned from his job for allegedly saying the N-word was an MPTC instructor. The committee subsequently decertified him. Last summer, WBZ's I-Team learned a cheating investigation was underway at 2 MPTC academies, and 4 student officers were disciplined at the time.
The executive director that is in charge, he was in charge for all of these.
MPTC told us in a statement, the Municipal Police Training Committee remains deeply committed to ensuring that our staff and nearly 2,500 instructors uphold the highest standards of integrity, competence, and professionalism.
2,500 staff, like, I bet 90% of them have an extensive criminal history. It's just insane that these are the people that become cops and are teaching other people how to be cops. And this is why, like, the police system doesn't change, because you have criminals teaching people how to become criminals. If they were actually recognized as a gang, they would be like one of the biggest gangs in the nation, because it's just criminals committing crimes under the guise, or, well, under the protection of the United States. And it's just wild how, like, nothing really happens. There's no true police reform ever, when it is constantly shown how bad the police actually are.
The committee says it started a notification process where the state's Police Oversight Commission, called POST, will alert them if an officer is suspended or decertified. And it's now requiring instructors to self-report complaints against them.
Wow, the instructors are supposed to report the complaints against themselves. Like, that's not gonna happen. That's like, asking somebody who, committed some crime to go turn themselves in to the police. Is that going to happen? No.
Here's the governor. Do you think there needs to be a deeper probe into the people who are training the police of tomorrow in the state?
I'm committed to, as a former attorney general and now as governor, making sure that we have the right personnel and people in place when it comes to all public safety matters.
Louisa Moeller, WBZ News.
Why was she smirking so much? Like, you need to take this serious, because these are people underneath your watch committing crimes in the name of the state.
News. We should point out, WBZ reached out to the various police departments mentioned in that story, and none of